We're just up in Derbyshire. We're about to start what's going to be an amazing project. Quite a bit of a challenging level, which you'll see in a second. I'm going to talk you through the project, talk you through the design, what we've got in mind for it, and I'm sure you'll be amazed when it's all finished. Come on through. Coming into the garden, we're going to have some nice stone steps. We're going to remove the decking in this area. We're going to have some nice stone steps that lead us into this space, and then we're going to have a nice stone porcelain patio in this area here. That's going to flow out onto a composite decking that wraps around the corner, just so we can keep this level going. And then we're going to go out into the garden with a winding pathway that's going to lead us through. We're going to cut back some of this bank. As you can see, the levels are quite challenging, so we've got to put in some walls and some retaining just to make the garden a bit more manageable. This is going to be cut back, and we're going to have some nice seating, and then we're going to have some different layers of sleepers that stagger up with some plantings that kind of retains the land all the way around there. And then we're going to have some raised flower beds. In this area is going to be a nice stone seat and fire pit that then leads us out between the planting beds onto a nice big open sort of lawn play area. Going into the garden, we've got some steps. Similar fashion, we're going to be stepping up. We're going to be using some self-binding gravel pathways, and we're going to be using some sleepers to step us into the garden. This is going to go on about 3 steps up here, and then we're going to have a pathway that steps from this and then leads us around the rest of the garden. So if you want to take a walk up the ramp, I can see it's quite challenging to maintain a garden like this. So we're trying to use the planting and shrubbery just to disguise the levels. It's really difficult that we can't put like bark chippings and gravels and stuff like that because it'll just wash down the slope. So we're having to be quite clever around the planting and what we're going to be putting in this area. So in the design, we've got a wall that comes along here that retains this bank. And then we're going to have some nice steps coming up into a woodland pathway that takes us all the way through into the top of the garden. There's going to be a log cabin, almost like a secret hideaway. So we're going to have a space up there that you can have an escape after a stressful day at work. You've got a place you can get away and escape to. This area here, so the 2 conifer trees you can see here, they're going to be going. So we're going to be removing these trees, which will let in a lot of light into this area, which will then allow us to select the plants that we need that are going to actually grow in that condition. And then these steps, so the pathway is going to be replaced leading into this area, and then the steps up the garden, these are going to be replaced with new steps, and we're going to have some sleepers retaining, and then we're going to have a sleeper wall retaining there, and then this is going to give us create a usable area in this middle section. And again, we can have some clever planting around there to help us hide those levels. Now on this bottom area here, this is going to be a really interesting area. We're going to create a level bank. There's going to be a piece of lawn in there as like a greenery out the windows. And then in this area, we've got a hot tub, which is a wood-fired hot tub. We've got a sauna, and we've got an cold outside shower as well. So there'll be a nice leisure area in there, and then some steps that will then lead us back up through the bank and into the top. And this is where we're going to be positioning the log cabin. So half of these steps are going to be taken away, and then this is going to turn into garden from this point. And then from this side here, coming down the garden, is where we're going to have the woodland walk. That was where that tall bank was. We're going to have some steps, and then we're going to have a woodland walk that brings us all the way through here and then up the bank. You can see a natural run there. It's actually the levelest area in the garden. We've got a natural run that takes us up there, and then we're going to have a log cabin that's located right in this bank over here. We're going to create a nice composite decking terrace. And we're going to have a cabin that's set back into this corner here. And then we're going to have some tall planting that comes around there. So it's a really nice secret hideaway. And then you can look over the garden from this point. It's got a beautiful view across the garden from here. And then again, we're going to have a pathway that takes us back down. And then that will lead us down in this corner down here, back into where the hot tub and the sauna and the shower area is going to be. So yeah, it's a really exciting project. It's challenging. We're going to be challenged because the logistics, getting the material in is going to be a challenge. and just generally the physical labour that's needed to create a garden that's usable and easier to maintain when you've got levels like this. It's going to be hard work, but we're up for a challenge. We love a challenge, and I'm really excited, and I'll share this with you. Once we've finished, I'll make sure we do a walk around together and I'll show you what we've done.